Welcome back to the channel, YouTubers. What we have here today is my 2003 Honda Foreman 450S. It is the standard shift model. I purchased this ATV back in December of 2017. There's like one or two videos here on my channel of this four-wheeler, but I don't think there's any of it running. There may be, I'm not sure. But anyway, I only managed to get like 64 miles on it before it jumped time. Well, during that time, I moved and brought the ATV with me. I was working a lot of hours at the time, so I dropped this four-wheeler off at a shop to have it fixed. 3 months go by, and I go by there to check on it, and I find it sitting outside. Of course, y'all can see it sitting inside now, but it was sitting outside. The front cover, the front cover was off of it, and it was laying underneath it, and it was full of water. The top of the engine was open to the sky, like it is now, and it really ticked me off. So I ended up loading this four-wheeler into the bed of the truck by myself without ramps. I was that mad. And I took it home and proceeded to try to fix it myself. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I've done a lot of research on these, and it's pretty much straightforward to put them back in time, put a new timing chain on them and all that. Well, I thought I would be wise and remove the engine from the frame and so I could get in here behind the front cover to get it in time, so so I could see it. I would have good light, and I could find the timing marks and line them up, put a new chain on it. And anyway, I got everything unbolted and everything unplugged and the engine ready to come out of the frame. I can never get these to separate, so I just give up on it. And fast forward to now, from May of 2020, somewhere around there, 2021. Anyway, I don't know why the camera's acting stupid, but okay, I'm not sure what it's doing, guys. Just please overlook that. But anyway, so I have brought it to where I'm staying at now, and I have decided to just try to put it back together for now. The carburetor, I have it put together, but it's missing a couple of screws, and I'm having to wait to order a carburetor kit and new screws to put in it so I can put it back on. I remember one of these holes for the valve cover is stripped out, and I found that after it jumped time. But anyway, so I can see how dirty that thing is, the valve. I'll try to blow it out, wipe it out, clean it the best I can before I try to run it. But anyway, so I'm going to try to fix that. I don't know if it can be fixed or helicaled, or if I need to replace the head, but whatever. If the head needs to be replaced, then it is what it is. I got all the parts to it. Well, most of them. I have misplaced a couple parts and all the moving around I've done with it. So I have spent the last couple of hours putting bolts in holes, trying to figure out where to go, like for the front rack here, and one over here, and then one in the rack here, and one on that side. And then the oil cooler clamp and bolts. It took me a while to figure that out, but I'm going to have to pull those back off and wipe them and clean them off because they got dirt on them. But I just stuck them in there for the time being. But anyway, so I'm just going to keep working on it, and I'll bring y'all back and show you more as I can. And the key got misplaced to it. I did replace this ignition switch because the old one was bad. Like you had to turn it on and just kind of hold it in the on position for it to get power. And anyways, I got tired of doing that, and so then I clipped the wires and just work a tie them together. So I wouldn't have to hold the key and just try to start it by the start button and hope that I wouldn't have to give it gas to make it start. But anyway, so I put another ignition switch on it. The key has got misplaced for it, and I don't know where the other key is to it. So what I've done is I ordered another ignition switch for it. When it comes in, I'll put it in, but in the meantime, I may or may not, I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to just clip the wires and tie them together like I did with the old ignition switch so I can still run it. This is a new display. I put it on it right when I bought the ATV because the old one was scratched up and real dull. You couldn't see it. And so anyway, I spent about $300 on this display screen and put in it. Okay, so that was a pretty pricey part, but I think it's only showing 64 miles, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been 3, almost 4 years, at least, since I've looked at the screen. But anyway, here's the back fenders. It's yellow. The original color of it was green. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can read that. I know it's upside down, but that G stands for green. Okay. As you can see, it's a Foreman 450 FM. Okay. Here's the factory snorkel. The air box, I do have it, but it has the typical Honda Foreman 450 issues with the air box. The tabs that hold it up here on the frame are broke off from the air box. So I got to come up with a way to secure it back to the frame. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking of getting some metal strap and self-taper it into the side of the air box on both sides, and then bend it over the frame and re-secure it in these holes where the plastic rivets go to hold it in. And that'll just have to be good enough because they have discontinued the air boxes for these. That's a real smart move, Honda, if you're watching this. But anyway, or if somebody's got a good air box out there that doesn't have broken tabs, email me at 1966 Chevy C10 at gmail.com. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I'm going to continue going through what's left of my bucket of bolts, which is not many. And I'm going to try to finish finding all the empty holes that the bolts go in, and I'm sure I'm missing some bolts, and I would just have to figure out what I'm missing, and I'll either get on babbittsonline.com, which is a website I use a lot, and buy more bolts from them, or I'll just get on Amazon and order a Honda spec bolt kit for the spoiler. It's a plastic tray, and it's full of bolts, the common bolts that Honda used in their ATVs, motorcycles, three-wheelers, everything like that. And then I can finish like bolting the back rack on and all that stuff. And I need new footwells too, the little plastic pieces that go there to the foot pegs for both sides, because the ones that I have are in really, really rough shape. And once I get it running, I got to put bearings and seals on this side. That side's not so bad. The back needs bearings and seals real bad also, but it also needs front axles, and it needs the brakes rebuilt. And I will do that because I like keeping brakes on my ATVs, even though Hondas are known for not having brakes, but this one will have brakes. Okay, so I like to keep brakes on my ATVs. But you can see how wore out that bearing is. Look at that. Okay, and I think this one even has some slop in it too. Yeah, that one's wore out too. Okay, so it's got to have bearings, seals, axles, a brake kit and hardware kit on both sides. I do have the front plastics, and they're in as good a shape as the back plastics. They're not broke or nothing. I do need an oil temperature sensor for this thing, because even back when it was running, it would overheat. The fan would never come on. So I wired it to a toggle switch, and I run the wires from over here to handlebars all the way back here to where it plugs in. So I'm actually pulling power from where the fan would originally pull power from anyway. So I know the wiring is good as far as that goes. The fan is good. Okay, there it is down there. It's the oil cooler fan. And the temperature light works. The only thing I think is bad is the oil temperature sensor, which is on the bottom of the engine at the back. And it just screws in there, and it's got one plug on it, I think. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I just want to give you guys a little update on what's going on in my life and what projects I'm working on. And right now it's this 2003 Honda Foreman 450S 4-wheel drive, and it has the track slot, as they call it. It's got the switch here. See, it's 2-wheel drive, and that would be 4-wheel drive. Okay, I got to hook all that stuff back up because I got the front differential unbolted. I got it unplugged because I did have the whole front end off of this thing before I took it to the last guy to let him look at it. But anyway, everything's just kind of more or less finger tight. The diff is just sitting in there, and I need to try to get all this apart soon so I can try to get these shafts to slide back together. I don't know what that's going to take. I've wrestled with it a little bit this evening trying to get it to go together, and that's why this boot is all off here, because I tried pulling it off to see if I could see up in there to see if there's a reason why it's not sliding together. But I will just keep at it, and hopefully I'll get it. And if there's any tricks or tips on this, please drop them in the comment box below and let me know, because this is kind of frustrating. But anyways, guys, I thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day, and remember, Jesus saves.